Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of this week's Fan Mail of the Week, episode 50. My God, 50 weeks of fan mail, guys. Welcome back to another edition. I hope you all stay cozy, stay warm, because it is cold as shit outside. I mean, literally, I'm surprised that it's not snowing. I hope you guys had a fantastic week and weekend. Like I said, guys, stay warm because a lot of the cold fronts are starting to move in. Snow, typhoons, asteroids hitting, volcanoes erupting. You guys know the deal. So I hope you all enjoy. Since this is 50 episodes, 50 straight weeks of fan mail of the week, what I'm going to do right now is I have time on my hands, so let's get on with fan mail. This is going to be one long fan mail. I apologize once again if I do not get to answer all of your questions, guys. Grab some popcorn, grab some drinks. This is going to be long, and a lot of you guys might want to stay tuned and just watch the entire episode because you guys are going to be very informed with some of these questions and so many other things to talk about. So let's begin with our first question, or should I say video, which was dedicated to me by a subscriber who I am happy to call my very good friend. And let's go on ahead and take a look.
Hey guys, Indie Killer here to bring you part 1 of 5 days of thanks for Thanksgiving. Part 1 right here, I'm going to thank the first person that I truly respect the most. Besides my family, of course, I meant like friends and other stuff. But part 1 is for UnrealEntGaming. If you haven't checked him out on YouTube, go check him out. Subscribe to him. Great guy, really is. Now, Alex, if you ever see this, thank you for everything you've done for me and your fans. Because without you, I wouldn't have been the person I was today. I still be that shy kid that wouldn't explain anything, what my interests are or anything. And you just truly have changed my life, and the reason I made a YouTube channel is because of him, because he inspires people a lot. So I was wondering, if I made a YouTube channel, I was wondering if I could inspire people as much as him. I'm trying to, at least. I'm trying to inspire people, because I love it when I make people smile. I just do. It makes me feel happy. And Alex, you just, one day I I looked up a video on YouTube. I just searched a video, then I saw this one video about Dragon Ball Z. I was like, oh, Dragon Ball Z video, let's go look at it. Then I liked the video, so it found me on a Thanksgiving video, whatever. And I went to his video. I liked it because it made me laugh, and I was like, oh, let's watch the next video, the next one, and then the next one, and I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty funny, I'll subscribe to him. Then when his fan mail came out, I was like, geez, it's time to send him some fan mail. Then everybody's sending fan mail. I've been on 3 of his episodes. Tell me this, it changes who you are, because he answers your questions that you have for him, and it really changes your life when you interact with people that you look up to. And Alex, I look up to you so much. When I get home from every day from school, I just go on YouTube and look at the video you put up. That's how much you inspire me. Like, really, I will never stop watching your videos, Alex. Never, really. Even if you change the freaking singing or whatever, I don't even care. But I'll still watch your videos, man. Because that is how much you've changed my life. And without you, I wouldn't have been the person I was today. So I thank you, Alex. I really thank you.
You know, before I get on to the questions for this week's episode, I just gotta say that you are the very first person to make a video like that. You are the first person to actually make a video and express yourself on how I've changed your life. And that right there means more to me than anything else ever, period. You know, it means more to me than you know, playing video games. It means a lot to me because I actually helped you in life. You know, that right there speaks very boldly for me, because that just means that I have impacted you in such a way that you've actually transformed yourself and you've become a better person. So I really can't thank you enough. But really, I mean, you shouldn't be thanking me, because I just came on here about a year and a half ago just to put a smile on your guys' faces, you know, by me coming on here and bringing you some, you know, classic stuff, whether it be by myself, whether it be with my good friend Paul, Sean, and everybody. You know, it didn't really matter who I did it with, as long as I made you guys happy, as long as I entertained you guys, as long as I informed you guys, and as long as I gave you guys my opinions. And whenever you guys needed help, I actually, you know, went out of my way to try to give all of you advice, you know. And I wish that I was a machine, because then, you know, I would have the capabilities to just answer everybody's question like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But unfortunately, you know, my only flaw is that I'm a human. You know, I can't really, you know, stay up 24 hours a day and just go through every single thing. You know, like life has responsibilities. But for me to go on here and actually inspire you and help you, it really means a lot to me. So from the bottom of my heart, Andy, thank you. I mean, that right there just speaks very boldly for me. So once again, man, I hope you have a great holiday season, and thank you so much for the appreciation. So really, it speaks very, very boldly for me. So, but now let's get on with our very first question for this week's episode, and it is from...
Hello, Alex. I got some fan mail questions for you. Yes, me. Super Saiyan 3. Awesome. Goku. Question 1. Who do you think out of the George St. Pierre versus Johnny Hendricks fight? I think Hendricks won. And do you think there'll be a rematch, or is George just going to retire? I actually think there's going to be a rematch. Hendricks is going to beat him, then George is going to retire. Question 2. In Dragon Ball Z Fall of Men, Trunks... This is what I think. I think Trunks is actually using that bike. That way he couldn't get spotted by the androids or Cell or whoever he was actually hiding from. Because if he flew, he would have gave out his power level. And he might wanted to get that sort of, like, surprise element on Cell or the androids. And another question, do you read any books? Like, any books in general? Horror, comics, anime, graphic novels, any books, and if so, what genre? Anime, and if it's novels, horror, drama, comedy, what type? Thank you. And Goku Super Saiyan 3 demands you to check out some of my videos and give me a shout out, otherwise he's gonna Kamehameha you, and I have no control because he already beat the shit out of me twice. So hopefully you will do this, otherwise Goku will beat the shit out of you. Sorry. Keep up the amazing work, Alex. Love you heaps. No homo. See? No homo. And fuck you, Paul. Kamehameha. Boom. Paul's gone. Alex is the victor. That's going to end all the discussion before Paul and Alex. Super Saiyan 3 Goku just decided Alex is a victor.
Well, damn, you just killed Paul via Kamehameha. That's not really nice. That's something Goku would not do. But anyways, thank you for the questions, man. I really appreciate it. Now, to answer your first question, GSP versus Hendricks 2. I do believe that there will be a rematch, and personally for me, I do believe that Hendricks won the fight because GSP came out a bloody mess after the whole debacle was over and done with. I mean, sometimes I feel like UFC is rigged for the simple fact that it's a corporation, it's a company, and, you know, at the end of the day, all they care about is money and ratings. So I think what was best for ratings at the time was to announce George St. Pierre as the winner, you know. Yeah, it ended in controversy. But I do believe that Hendricks deserves a rematch. I do believe Hendricks actually gave GSP one hell of a fight, and yeah, I do believe that Hendricks deserves a rematch because I feel like it wasn't justified correctly. Hendricks gave him a run for his money, I'll tell you that much, but in the end, I feel like Hendricks won, even though GSP, you know, came up victorious at the end of the battle. So, to answer your second question, Fall of Men, well, I mean, that's a very interesting theory, you know, Trunks having to be on the bike, you know, pretty much avoiding him from being spotted by the androids or Cell or whatever the case may be, but I still feel like Fall of Men is crap. All of the Dragon Ball Z live action films that they have lined up is going to be crap because it doesn't have anything to do with the manga, with the anime. It's just a bunch of crap that you know, Hollywood put together, and they want to, you know, milk, you know, the franchise just because of the name Dragon Ball Z, you know what I mean? it makes no sense, because if you're going to have something entitled Fall of Men with Cell featured in it, what the hell happened to Frieza? You know, how did Goku become a Super Saiyan? It makes no sense whatsoever. Even if it is an independent film, and it's not a Hollywood-made film, regardless, it's probably going to be worse because, you know, in terms of CGI and graphical effects and whatnot, it's not going to be on par with Hollywood, so that's just going to be bad. They're just going to go on ahead and degrade the characters even further. So, I mean, for me, if it ever comes out, I am not even going to bother watching it because it's not going to be worth, you know, the money or the effort. So, and to answer your last question, do I read books? I used to read the R.L. Stine Goosebumps books. I think those were absolutely amazing. I remember reading a book called what was it, Monster? Yeah, I remember reading a book called Monster. I forgot the author, but it was a novel that pretty much depicted the life of a Crip who pretty much, he was a Crip gangbanger, and he pretty much wanted to get out of the life, and it was a pretty impactful book. It was absolutely amazing. So in terms of mangas, I used to read the Dragon Ball mangas. I read Dragon Ball Afterlife, I read Dragon Ball Multiverse and all that kind of stuff. So as of right now, you know, I'm not reading anything currently, but I do read, of course. If it's very interesting, then I would definitely pick it up. My favorite genres are anime, definitely horror. I love horror. I mean, that's something I just can't get off. And if we're talking about real life stuff, then you know, autobiographies and, you know, pretty much bodybuilding nutrition magazines and stuff like that. So I would definitely read those kind of things. So, but thank you for the question, Mr. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I'll try to do that before you blow me away by the Kamehameha. Shit. Moving on to the next question, which is from Alan McGill. Yo, Alex, how you been, man? Oh, I've been alright, just fucking cold, that it is. I mean, I wish I didn't live in New York at times like this, because it gets really freaking cold. But I can imagine how it gets, like, in England or in Iceland or, like, in the Netherlands or whatnot, but I digress. I know I usually have real questions, but I wanted to bring a matter that's been on my mind for a while now. Alright, here we go. Now that I got your attention, my fan mail of the week is kind of a mix or a question and statement. Well, you see, I have a conspiracy of the Illuminati that lives with me, and that person showed me a video called I Pet Goat 2. If you already saw it, my question to you will be, what do you think of the video is trying to say? Plans? And if you haven't, I would want you to watch it. It's only 7 minutes. Many people around the world seen it already and shocked by it. And when you're done watching it, you can tell me your response in a private message. I'll accept it, and thank you for having your time to publish my message so all your fans can see and hopefully see for themselves as well. No matter what, praise God and Jesus as your saviors, no matter what, for as long as you live and beyond. Thanks again for seeing my message, Alex, even though it wasn't really a question, but have a great day, man. Thank you so much. Well, to answer your first question, yes, I have seen I Pet Goat 2, and there are a lot of Illuminati references within that little 7-minute clip that depicts George Bush and 9/11 and several other things, but, you know, I'm really happy that you are aware of this, because I feel like every single person that walks the face of this planet today should have knowledge on what's truly going on. Now, for those of you out there that don't believe in the Illuminati, my question to you is, how could you not? You know, it's pretty hard to imagine that the government is controlled and pretty much directed on its own basis. You know, I feel like personally that the government is controlled by the mega corporations, and these mega corporations are immune to so many of today's laws, you know. And for me, I personally believe that the government does do a very good job at keeping information from the public, because if you think about it, if lying were to be a job, you know, the government would be, you know, number one on the list, because the government's job is to pretty much lie to the people and say, well, you know, nothing to see here, just move along, when actually there is something to see and there is something to actually learn there. But there's so many Illuminati references and symbolisms in today's music and video games and, you know, pop culture and, you know, urban culture and all that kind of stuff, you know. And some people are so oblivious to it because they see what's in front of them and they're so fascinated because they've never seen something like that before, so they tend to ignore the real message. You know, I was one of those people. I used to be one of those people that just sat there and I was like, oh, look at that. That looks really cool, blah, blah, blah. But I was missing the entire point, you know? When you see the all-seeing eye, when you see the 666, when you see the mark of the beast, when you see the devil's horns, when you see satanic symbolism, and when you look at what's going on in Hollywood and music and all, and I mean all types of music like rock, hip-hop, R&B, soul, country, you know, there are satanic messages in there. There is Illuminati symbolism, but people just tend to look the other way because they feel like, oh, well, if it doesn't affect me, you know, I don't really want to hear about it, nor do I care. But when in reality, it does affect you, you know. A lot of you people should be looking up stuff like HARP and Project Bluebeam and fluoride in your water and chemtrails in the sky and stuff like that, and you would be surprised with what you see. So yes, I have seen iPet Go 2, and it just makes me sick, you know. It makes me sick to see some of the things that are going on, because some people are just like sheep, you know. They just follow to where they need to be led to, and it just sucks because not everybody's a leader. And I wish that every single person that's hearing the sound of my voice right now becomes a leader, because why be a follower, you know? These days a lot of people want to tend to follow you know, society these days. Like if somebody gets a tattoo, they get a tattoo. If somebody jumps off the bridge, you know, they jump off the bridge. You know, it's just, why do so many people follow society? It's because that's just the way, you know, people are programmed these days, you know. People aren't striving to be astrophysicists anymore. People aren't striving, you know, to become entrepreneurs. People aren't striving to become brilliant scientists, you know, that are able to discover new cures and new, you know, DNA strands for humans and stuff like that. People aren't striving to do that anymore. Instead, people are striving to become rappers and strippers and, you know, stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that to a certain extent, except if you're stripping, of course. But, you know, have some ambition, you know. Just see the bigger picture, because if you're not looking at the bigger picture, then nobody's going to look at it for you. So I feel like every single person should just open up their eyes and see what's really going on. And going back to your question, it's like, what do you think the video is trying to say? The video is trying to say, hey, listen, they're doing what they're doing right in front of your face, and you're just too blind to see what's going on. You know, I was shocked about it just like you were, you know. But thank you for sharing that, man, because I mean, I've been researching this Illuminati stuff, Bilderberg, Freemasonry, reptilian, bloodline, you know, satanic stuff for so long, and it shocked me. It truly did. You know, when you look at the bigger picture and you see what's going on, it's scary. It really, really is scary, and it scares me as a person, you know. So, but once again, I really thank you for the question, and I really thank you for presenting that to me. It actually just got me going right here. But I really hope you have a wonderful holiday season, Alan. I really do. I hope you guys got your popcorn and enjoying this episode, guys. Anyways, on to the next question, which is from DBZ Assassin's Creed. Hello, I've been trying to get on your friends list at school, and you are really funny. Let's get on to the questions. Thank you, man. All right, question number 1. When Gohan unlocked his hidden power, do you think he should have gone Super Saiyan 3? Question 2. Who would win, Bane from the Batman Arkham series or Killbane from Saints Row the Third? Question 3, can you join my crew, GTA Super Saiyans? Thanks for answering my questions. No problem, man. To answer your first question, I would have loved that so much, because how awesome would it be to see Gohan go Super Saiyan 3? I mean, granted, like, that would have been so amazing, and it would have meant so much more, because Goku would have worked so hard to achieve Super Saiyan 3, and now you have Gohan just having it, you know, just handed to him. It would have been really interesting to see how he would look, and it would be very interesting to see how Goku would have taken that, you know, into consideration. Like, whoa, you know, you had your powers unlocked by sitting on your ass, meanwhile I have trained my ass off to get this form, you know. I do think Gohan should have went Super Saiyan 3. I think it would have meant more than you know, being an ultimate mystic, you know, form, whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I really think it would have pushed the envelope if they were to have 3 Super Saiyan 3s, Gotenks, Goku, and Gohan. Unfortunately, we didn't see Vegeta turn Super Saiyan 3, which I really wanted to see that. And at this point, we might never see Vegeta go Super Saiyan 3, It sucks a lot. It truly does. But as a fan, I would love to see Gohan go Super Saiyan 3 one day. I mean, even if he does, would that mean he's stronger than his ultimate form? We don't know. But I think it would have been more logical if he went Super Saiyan 3 instead of just fighting in his regular form, because that right there would have, meant so much more. Can you imagine if he came back and Piccolo and, Trunks and Goten looked up in the sky and they saw Gohan, with long hair descend from the heavens? Everybody would have been like, whoa, this kid just changed so much during his time over there. It would have meant so much more. So to answer your second question, I think Bane from the Batman series would win, just because once he gets that venom flowing through his blood, he is just dangerous. And Bane is just overall a great character, and I think Killbane would not stand a chance, to be honest. So for this battle, I would have to say Bane from the Batman series. And to answer your last question, can I join your crew, or will I join your crew? Sure, all you have to do is just add me on the Rockstar Social Club website, and if you send me a request, I will join it, and I will ascend to a Super Saiyan 15, and I shall help you wage war in GTA 5. So I really thank you for the questions, man, and I really hope you have a great holiday season. Moving on to the next question, which is from Joseph Gamer. Hey Alex, you are by far the best YouTuber out there, so keep up the good work and I'll keep watching. Thank you so much, Joseph. Questions. Question number 1. Alex, do you think that there will be a new series of Dragon Ball Z? Question 2. If Gohan can turn God mode while he is in his mystic form, would he be a mystic God mode? What do you think? Question 3. Xbox One or PS4? Question 4. Are you hyped about Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z, and do you think it will fail? Thank you for answering my questions. Keep making videos. P.S. The fuck you, Yamcha! The fuck you, where? Fuck you, Paul! Yes. The whales, the Yamchas, and the Pauls must go. Yeah, sorry, Paul. Alright, well, thank you for the questions, man. To answer your first question, that's a very iffy question. Akira Toriyama is actually open to the fact that he may return. I remember mentioning that in a video, and I remember reading several articles. There is no official news as of right now on there being a new series anywhere. So just because you guys see some Facebook pictures of there saying, hey, we're making a new series, doesn't make it true. So there is no official new, breakthrough or confirmation on it. Because if there was, trust me, I would be the first person to break that news. But like I said, Akira Toriyama is open for the possibilities of doing more. Now, whether this means doing more movies or doing a show, I think that at this point he's leaning more towards the movies, because there's not, as many responsibilities as there is for a show. I would like there to be a show over a movie, because if you have a new TV series, then, that means, like 500 new episodes and, so many other things that can happen. So, I think I speak for everybody when I say we want a new series of Akira Toriyama. Come on, man. Somebody needs to speak up, like, when they go to, these anime expos. Like, I'm going to try my best to go in June to the anime expo in California. And if I do, I'm going to raise hell. You can best believe that. I'm going to go to the anime expo and I'm going to look for Chris Sabat and freaking Sean Schimmel. And I'm just going to ask them, like, yo, what's the word? Like, any news on Dragon Ball Z or what? Like, I want to speak to Funimation, even though you guys don't fucking work for them anymore. I want to speak to the heads, man. I want to write letters. I want to get my fans to fucking do this, So, do I think there will be a new series? Not anytime soon, man. It sucks. It truly does, but I'm sorry. It's just the hard truth, man. But like I said, Akira Toriyama is open to the decision, but is he going to do it? That's up to him. To answer your second question, a Mystic God mode, I don't think his ultimate powers would even affect anything, to be honest. I think if Gohan became a Super Saiyan God, just because he has his Mystic powers unlocked would not mean his God form would be any stronger, to be honest. Would Gohan make a difference? Probably not. especially with Whis in the mix. I mean, I'm pretty sure if Gohan and Goku achieved Super Saiyan God forms and beat the shit out of Bills, I'm pretty sure Whis would step in and pretty much finish off Goku and Gohan without even breaking a sweat, because Whis is that powerful. But what do I think of the concept of a Mystic God mode? Really, I don't like the sound of that, because really that would take away from the whole entire God mode itself. You know, just have a strict Super Saiyan God mode and that's it. You know, no ultimate modes, no mystic forms. But I do think they need to change the concept of the look. You know, instead of being skinny with red aura and red eyes and red fucking hair, do something different for once, you know? Like, I would love a new form, to be honest. Like, something different. Something that looks different, you know? To answer your third question, Xbox One or PS4? Honestly, the PS4 has way better graphics, so for graphics, I would have to say PS4. But for online right now, I've been having fun on my Xbox, so I would have to say Xbox on that. I'm just going to keep it, you know, really simple for that, because if I mention any other thing for any other console, they're gonna, you know, there's gonna be people out there gonna be hating, like, oh yeah, PS4 is better, Xbox is better, blah blah blah. They're consoles, guys. They're just machines, you know. We as consumers buy them, we as consumers play them, and we as consumers have fun, you know. So that's all I can recommend on that. But for the Xbox One, Dead Rising 3 is absolutely phenomenal, and for the PS4, I definitely recommend getting Battlefield, because it's beautiful. It looks so beautiful on there, and just the overall gameplay on the PS4 is just stunning. So, and to answer your last question, am I hype about Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z? Yes, I am. Do I think it's going to fail? No, I do not. I think Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z is going to be a phenomenal game. Is it going to be the best? I don't think so. But I definitely feel like Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z is going to offer a lot, because for the first time you get to do things that you never done before in any other Dragon Ball Z game. And as a matter of fact, Chris Sabat, the guy that plays the voice of Piccolo and Vegeta, was actually very excited about this game as well, because he himself even said, hey, listen, I'm never excited about Dragon Ball Z games, but this one actually got me excited, because you can do things that you've never done before in this game. So I'm happy that they're doing it. I wish that they were to include more, but in this case, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see. But I personally am excited for it. I mean, I really don't see what's so bad about it, you know. There have been worse Dragon Ball Z games, trust me when I say that. So, but thank you for the question, Mr. Joseph. Happy holidays. Now, moving on to the next question, which is from Ragangsta Boy. Question number 1. Do you think Bardock should come back in a new DBZ movie, let's say Battle of Gods or another movie, to actually meet Goku and the Z Fighters? Question 2, do you think they should make a new Broly canon movie where the legendary Super Saiyan returns, but as a Super Saiyan 3 and goes against Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta? Oh man, would that be epic. Question 3, do you think Akira Toriyama will make a new Dragon Ball Z series continuing from Battle of Gods? I just mentioned that, but I'm just going to recap one more time. Question 4, if Akira Toriyama does make a new Dragon Ball Z series, how long do you think the manga will take to publish and the anime to be made? Oh man, you just ruined my dreams. I mean, it is reality. So, question number 5, if they make a Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods 2, they will make a Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods 2, and I'll explain that right now. Do you think Broly will be in it, but to team up with the Z Fighters and also needing more power? What? Or more Saiyan blood due to Pan not being enough because she is a quarter of a Saiyan, she cannot become a Super Saiyan? Question 6, in the new Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Z game, they announced that there will be no GT characters, but do you think Oob will be in it? I mean, after all, Oob was in the end of Dragon Ball Z. Thank you very much, Alex. I am your #1 fan and always will be. P.S. Fuck you, Squid. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. To answer your first question, actually, Bardock. I don't think Bardock should come back, and it sucks to say that, but Bardock's time has come and gone, you know. I think Bardock should just be left alone. If anything, they could bring him back, but not in the movie. Just bring him back real quick. Maybe Goku can go to King Kai's planet or something, and then who does he see King Kai talking to? He sees him talking to Bardock real quick. You know, Bardock sees Goku. They have like a little exchange of words. They hug it out, and then Bardock just fades away, you know. But, you know, revolving another movie around him, I mean, I really don't think they should make another movie on Bardock, just for the simple fact that Bardock's time has come and Bardock's time is gone. So it's time to make way for new characters, if anything, you know. To answer your second question, that would be pretty amazing. But I really doubt they're gonna make a fourth Broly movie. But if they did, can you imagine if Broly came back as a Super Saiyan 3 going up against Gogeta Super Saiyan 3? I mean, that right there would be so epic. I mean, I really don't even know where to begin. As a Super Saiyan 3, I mean, you would think, oh well, a Super Saiyan 3 has a ton of power. Now imagine Broly's level, you know, like his power would be tremendous. And you know, I think the only suitable opponent for a Super Saiyan 3 Broly would be a Super Saiyan 3 Gogeta. Now, do I think they should do that? Hell yeah, because Broly is a popular character. Gogeta only debuted once, so I feel like they should definitely do that. Yes. But will it ever happen? Unfortunately, I really think they're done with Broly and Gogeta. If not Gogeta, then definitely they're done with Broly. I really don't think they're gonna bring him back, sadly enough. But to answer your third question, will they make a new Dragon Ball Z series? Like I just said in the previous question that I just answered, Akira Toriyama is open to the idea of it, but I mean, I really doubt he's gonna do it. I mean, Battle of Gods was a great film, you know, like, and I feel like the story was really good. And I mean, like I said, not everybody's a Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods fan, but I appreciate the story. I appreciate where they were coming from. So, are they gonna make a new series? Honestly, right now, all we have to do is just play the waiting game, and we're gonna have to find out. So, to answer your fourth question, that is a very good question. If Akira Toriyama does make a new series, I think it's going to take years for it to get published and for the anime to actually get made and dubbed. And, you know, can you imagine all the hard work these people are going to have to go through again just for another series, you know? For them, it's pushing the envelope, but I think it's going to take several years for them to actually publish everything, to get everything dubbed correctly, to get the right music in there, you know, because think about it, we're talking about hundreds of, you know, new episodes to come, you know, so I think they should definitely look into it. I mean, it's definitely going to generate a lot of profit on their side, but how long do I think it's going to take? All right, like let's say in 2014 they announce a new series. I think the official date that we will be seeing a new series, if they announce it, let's say next year, would be like 2016, 2017. We're not going to see anything anytime soon because it takes time for these things, you know what I mean? You can't just, you know, announce something and just release it the next week, you know? Because Lord knows how long it takes to actually, you know, publish and create these kind of things. So, if they do announce it, you know, the sooner the better, because the movie is still embedded in people's brains and the series is still, you know, popular. But if they wait, then they pretty much risk losing everything. So, to answer your fifth question, Broly, I really don't, that would make no sense. No, I am against that idea. I mean, Broly should not help the Z Fighters. Broly should not even be in Battle of Gods 2 at all. Neither should Pan, but I think Pan is just going to be there for show. But in Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods 2, they pretty much announced it in the first film, guys. I mean, they said Bills is coming back. That's exactly what Bills himself said. That's exactly what Whis said. You know, Bills is coming back 3 years from now, you know? So, I mean, who knows? Maybe when Bills comes back, he's going to be fighting the fusions. Maybe Goku's going to wish for the Potara earrings from Shenron, and they're going to, you know, reinstate Vegito again or something, or maybe go at it with Gogeta, or maybe Vegeta's going to go Super Saiyan God for the first time. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But as for Broly teaming up with them, no, I really doubt that. So, and to answer your last question, as for Oob, I mean, I could definitely see Oob being in it, but not the GT Oob, just the regular village rat looking Oob from the end of the actual Dragon Ball Z series. But then again, how strong was he during that time? You know, he wasn't powerful at all. It was only the beginning of GT where we saw the spark of Oob, you know, the true potential of this guy. So, personally for me, I do think they're going to add him, but probably as a DLC character. So, But thank you for the questions, man. It really means a lot, and I really hope you have a great holiday season and a great new year, man. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Stefan Rosa. Hey, Alex, just wanted to send you some fan mail, obviously, because I want to know your opinions, and to also say that I wish you the best of luck in achieving your many fates. Thank you so much, man. God bless you, man. Now let's get on to the comments of the questions. Thank you so much, man. All right, question number 1. Would you consider Paul a dork? I'm talking about the definition of dork in Webster's dictionary. The definition is someone who is not afraid to be themselves anywhere in front of anybody. Well, that's very interesting. Question 2. I saw Evil Dead, and what was more bizarre to you? The part where the demon cuts its own tongue in half, or the scene when the needle is going through the guy's face? Oh, shit. Question 3, do you think that Super Saiyan God should really be called that? Because technically Goku is in his base form when in God mode. Question number 4, this question follows up to number 3. How powerful would Super Saiyan God 3 be? And finally, question number 5, what breed is Bear? P.S. Paul's excuse for a failed fusion dance is Young Money. Exactly. That's exactly what will happen. Paul, what happened? Young Money. Anyways, thanks for the questions, Rosa. To answer your first question, Paul is a dork in both literal and just direct terms. Paul is a dork by Webster's dictionary of not afraid of being themselves, because Paul's a really cool kid, man. And I really appreciate everything he's done so far. I mean, the kid is a great talent, you know. Just Lord knows, like I always tell him, dude, get into the gaming business because the gaming world needs a person like you, especially with the brains and whatnot. A company like that would definitely use you for its benefits. So, and also I think Paul is definitely a dork in direct terms. You know, I've been to his house several times, and he could never stop ranting about Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. He sleeps with SpongeBob pillows and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Paul, you know, like, but Paul's an awesome kid, you know. Sometimes when you talk to him, he sounds like a dork, and I come off like a dork too because that's just how we act, that's how we are, and it's just so hilarious, you know, like he has a really funny side to him, and you know, Paul is just awesome. So is Paul considered a dork? Sure, why not? I mean, aren't we all? So to answer your second question, Evil Dead. Well, first and foremost, I feel like Evil Dead was such a great film. And I'm really happy that it ended the way it did because it sets itself up for another movie if they decide to make another movie, which I really hope they do. But from my knowledge, Ash was originally supposed to be in the second film, but I really don't know if they're going to capitalize and, you know, add him within the sequel. But to me, what was the most bizarre scene? I would have to say the tongue scene as well, because as she's in the basement, you know, with this other girl, she pretty much just went on ahead to look at the other girl directly in the face and, you know, say some, you know, pretty scary stuff, you know, and for her to pull her tongue out and then just slit it in half and then just like proceed to kiss the other girl while her tongue is slit, bleeding everywhere. It's just disgusting. It was definitely bizarre, but I think it was definitely awesome. Like when she first did it, I was like, oh shit. No, she did not just rip her tongue open and then make out with the other girl. That's just nasty. But honestly, the whole needle going through the guy's face, I really don't find that as bizarre as the part where she actually slit her tongue. There were several scenes that weren't shown in the actual movie theater, which I was really disappointed on. But overall, I feel like Evil Dead was a success, and for me personally, I think it was such a great film. I just feel like it should have lasted a little longer. So, to answer your third question, man, I can't stand Super Saiyan God. I love the title, but I hate the way the form looks. The form looks so cheesy, and it just looks so plain, you know what I mean? Like Super Saiyan 4 was like this big, jacked up, you know, muscly looking character with fur and crazy hair and a tail, and he looked like a freaking beast, you know? He had like such a unique look going on, whereas opposed to Super Saiyan God also has a very unique look if they were to do something different with the body and the hair. You know, I love the red aura, I love the red eyeballs, I love the red hair, but maybe perhaps do a change of hairstyles perhaps, or maybe a change of clothing, big muscles and whatnot. You don't want to make them as big as Broly, but just keeping Goku in his base form, it looks kind of silly. I mean, to me, it always looked like he was in Kaioken form, and personally, for me, I was never really a big fan of Kaioken, up until, like, he started unleashing, like, Kaioken times 20 and stuff like that, and Super Kaioken. But I don't think Super Saiyan God should be called Super Saiyan God, especially if Goku's going to be in his base form. If they had a level beyond Super Saiyan 3, like, let's say Goku would achieve Super Saiyan 4 canon, and actually Akira Toriyama's version to that can be called Super Saiyan God, then I'll be happy, you know? But pretty much it's just an ability because he's gathering energy from other people, you know? That's not really a transformation, sort of say. But to me, I just feel like it should not be in a base form. And to answer your fourth question, how powerful would a Super Saiyan 3 God be? I'm pretty sure he would be powerful as fuck. He would definitely be onto Bills' level, I believe. If Goku were to reach a Super Saiyan 3 God mode, I think Goku would be more than enough, will be, you know, capable of just destroying Bills in and of itself. So I think with the Super Saiyan 3 God mode, it would look very interesting to see a Super Saiyan 3 with red hair, red eyes, or whatever. But again, you know, like, do something different. And I really wish Akira Toriyama were to go out of his way to actually spice things up a little bit. But I remember reading an article where he said, well, I just want to keep it basic. I don't want to do anything crazy. Which, I mean, it kind of sucks because I want to see something more to it. But it's all up to Akira Toriyama, guys. It's not up to us. And, I mean, I'm really gracious and just very thankful that you guys are spreading my videos, and the only reason why I tell you guys to spread my videos is because I want Sean Schemmel to watch it, I want Chris Sabat to watch it, I want Funimation to watch it, so they can see that we as fans still want more, and that we're actually still supportive of the series, and we're willing to dish out so much more just to get one more crack at the Dragon Ball Z series. So, and to answer your final question, what breed is Bear? He is a Pomeranian toy, so he's a little guy. Pomeranians are pretty, you know, attention-seeking, especially Bear. Bear loves attention. But they're the cleanest of dogs, man. I love my dog to death. I mean, that's why they say it's man's best friend. So, Bear is a Pomeranian teacup toy. So. But thank you for the question, Mr. Stefan. Happy holiday season to you as well, my friend. And now, once again, moving on to the next question, which is from Leo50 Perez. Hey, Alex, how is Entei and your cardboard chair hurting? Ah, you bastard, you bastard. But enough talk had at you. Here we go. Question number 1. Did you hear about Brian Griffin getting killed? Do you think they will ever bring him back? Question 2. How old were you when you first got into your very first fist fight? Question 3. How come we never see Paul and Justin get together? Do they not like each other? P.S. Alex, you smell like mayonnaise. Oh, you bastard. You smell like wolf milk. P.S.S. Fuck you, Alex. Paul's bad because he's brown. P.S.S. Fuck you, Sean. No one likes you. Oh, man. That is cold. That was really cold. Damn, Sean. Shots fired. Well, thank you for the question, Mr. Leo. To answer your first question, I'm really sad that Brian Griffin got killed. I mean, Family Guy won't be the same, just like Fast and Furious won't be the same without Paul Walker, a.k.a. Brian O'Connor, you know what I mean? That's 2 Brians dead in less than a week, you know? And it sucks, but the character of Brian Griffin, I feel like he will come back because the actor who plays as Brian Griffin went off to go and shoot Ted 2. So, chances are we might see Brian Griffin return in the next several months. I really doubt they're going to keep the character of Brian Griffin away because he was such a, you know, significant role to the show. And I did hear about it. I saw it. You know, he got hit by a car. You know, what irony. You know, Brian Griffin gets killed via car. Paul Walker dies via car. You know what I mean? It's truly sad, you know, and it's very ironic, actually. But as to your question, will they ever bring him back? I really hope so because, you know, he was a douchey, you know, liberal who pretty much didn't give a shit about anybody. So, that show needs a character like that. Otherwise, it's not going to be as entertaining or as funny as, you know, people want to think it is. But, honestly, Brian Griffin was such a great character. And, I mean, to me personally, I think they're going to bring him back. They just have to. I mean, not anytime soon, but probably next year. Yeah, so. To answer your second question, how old was I? I was about what, 11, 12 years old, around there. It was like the stupidest fist fight in the world. I really forgot what it was over, but I remember swinging like a girl, you know, because when you're like 11 and 10 or 12 years old or whatever, you're not really an MMA pro, you know, you're more like a hissy little girl who just like swings all over the place. So, I was between the ages of 10 and 12. It had to have been between those ages because I remember being a fucking stick of a child, and I was so small and I was so skinny and short. But I remember when I was fighting the kid, I definitely remember it was in school. And I also definitely remember it was during gym class, but I really forgot what the hell happened, you know what I mean? But I remember when I was actually about to hit the kid, I really didn't know what the hell I was doing. Because when you're so young, like, you think you know it all and you think you can fight, but in reality, if you were to sit back and watch yourself fight when you're that young, it'll look like a dying rabbit trying to, like, get inside of a hole. It was just pathetic. But I was between the ages of 10 and 12, if I can just point it out correctly, because it was so long ago. It was like well over 10 years ago, and it's really hard to like remember, you know, especially something from way back when. So, and to answer your last question, the only reason why we never see Paul and Justin together is because they don't really communicate. It's not like they don't like each other, because Justin likes Paul and Paul likes Justin. It's just, you know, they don't communicate, you know, they don't have each other's Skypes. They don't, you know, play Xbox. Justin doesn't play games like that. And plus Justin's doing his own thing. So Justin really only hung out with Paul, I believe, twice. And that was it, you know. But I would love to see those two together, because, you know, when you have the pissed off Puerto Rican and, you know, the crazy brown guy, it's funny to see what can happen, you know. But that's the only reason I would say, is because they don't communicate, they don't keep in touch. Maybe it's because they don't have each other's information, sort of say. But Justin loves Paul. Justin actually watches Paul's videos just like I do, and Paul actually likes Justin for being, you know, kooky. So hopefully in the future I can get them to do a vlog together, and I think that would be really cool to see TKD Rebounds and the Cock Bros just, you know, hanging out and just doing whatever. And I mean, hopefully, I mean, only time can tell. I mean, summer's coming up, right? So who's to say we can't do that? So but thank you for the question, Mr. Perez. Like I said, you still smell like wolf milk, so I hope you enjoy, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Perfecting Legacy. What's up, Alex? It's RJ from Birmingham, Alabama. I've been a long-time subscriber, and I'm 17 years old, and every day I come from basketball practice, I get on YouTube to watch your new videos. Thank you, man. That right there it truly means a lot to me. Thank you so much, man. You're hands down the best YouTuber of all time, man. Now on to the best questions. Thank you. And what's ironic was I was in Birmingham, Alabama about a year and a half ago, and one of the best experiences of my life, because I went to go visit a few of my friends from Pelham and Helena, Alabama, and who knows, I mean, I'm definitely going to be back there in the summer of 2014, so maybe Mr. RJ can meet Mr. AJ, Brandon, myself, Courage, and everybody, you know? Alright, on to the questions. Question number 1, have you ever considered moving to Florida to join WWE NXT? Then you will be able to be in much more reaching of WWE. Well, that is true, but I'll get to that right now. Question number 2, would you ever do something like an old Dragon Ball Z episodes and have your face cam so all your fans can see and relive the best show with your favorite YouTuber? Question 3, is Lil Wayne one GOATs in your opinion? Well, don't really get that question, but I'll try to answer it with the best of my knowledge. Question number 4, do you think Dragon Ball Z should introduce us to a new character that's just on par with Goku, but that is mysterious and only shows up when everyone is down out for the count? Well, that would be very good, actually. Question number 5, do you think Piccolo or androids should have another transformation so they can remain relevant when it comes to battle? Because all the Saiyans now, which is good, but I'd like to see them mix it up a bit. What do you think? Question 6, when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I was watching, I was WWE crazy. I love the state that WWE was in at the time with the whole Raw versus SmackDown drama, and the storylines were great, with great rosters on both sides. Now I'm 17, and I know how to wrestle, but what I've learned and stuff like that, if it was to take it serious, what advice would you give me? I'm about 5'11", 170 of muscle, and it would hurt bad, like the old days of wrestling. Well, the old days of wrestling and the new days of wrestling is completely different. I'll explain that right now. Question 7. What is your opinion of the Michael Jordan era, the Kobe era, and the LeBron era? Oh, boy. I wouldn't even consider it the LeBron era, but I'll get into that. Question 8. Have you ever tried contacting talent relations at WWE so they can come see your match or maybe send your matches to them? I think it's a little early for that, but I'll get into that like I said. Question 9. What is your favorite sneakers? Question 10. What do you think will be the difference between GTA 5 on Xbox and PS3, etc.? And when it comes on the next-gen consoles? Well, that's it for now, Alex. I really hope this makes it to your next fan mail. You're the man, bro. Keep entertaining because you change lives, and it's amazing. Keep it up, bro. God bless you. No, God bless you, man. Thank you so much, RJ. To answer your first question, have I ever considered moving to Florida to join WWE? Yes, I have, actually. I remember contemplating that, many years ago, and I feel like it's best for me to pay my dues in the indies. I think it's best for me to prove myself first before I make any necessary movements or precautions in order to go to Florida. If I wanted to, I could have went down there, but I feel like I am missing some credentials, and I feel like I can improve on my own. Granted, I'm not the best wrestler in the world. I'm not, the most athletic wrestler. I know I'm not the most good-looking wrestler, but you can rest assured that I'm gonna bust my ass to actually reach those milestones. So it's not hard for me to do so because all I would need to do is just go to Florida and see how it is, and just best of luck to me. If I succeed, I succeed. If not, then I can just come back. But I think it's best for me to prove myself here first before I make any necessary movements toward another company. So, to answer your second question, as much as I would love to do that, man, I'm really not allowed to be posting actual Dragon Ball Z anime on my channel, or for any other channel for that matter, because it's a copyright infringement, and if you do that, even while you have face cam, you can still get in trouble. So that's why I wouldn't do it. I mean, as much as I would love to, and as much as, I hate copyright, I would definitely do that, but I do stick by the rules, so I wouldn't want to do that, because if I did, I mean, I'd be in big trouble. So, to answer your third question, I didn't really understand it. Is Lil Wayne one GOAT in your opinion? I don't know what you mean by that, so I'm gonna go on ahead and skip that question. I'm assuming you're talking about a song, because I haven't really been up to date with Lil Wayne, because I think he's crap. He was way better back when he was in the Hot Boys and stuff like that, but now he's just garbage. So, can't really answer that because I don't know, how to answer it, to be honest. So, to answer your fourth question, that would be a great idea to have a mysterious character that's on par with Goku, because that would actually introduce the element of surprise, because this character can actually poke his head out, whenever he needs to actually help the fighters. But then again, isn't that what Piccolo does? Remember, when the Z Fighters fought Broly, when the Z Fighters fought Cooler, when the Z Fighters fought anyone and everyone for that matter, Piccolo always poked his head out, and he tried his best, you know what I mean? So, I would love to see a new character, just pop in and out just to help the Z Fighters, but at this point, like I said, it's up to Akira Toriyama, and I mean, how exactly would we be able to execute that character? I mean, nobody knows. I mean, how exactly would you execute this character? Who is he? What kind of a character is he? Is he a Saiyan, a Namekian, a Majin, an android? Like nobody knows what he is, an alien. So they're gonna have to pretty much go in depth with his story as well. So, but I think it's a great idea, because that would actually bring something new to the table, and plus having Goku to spar with him would be a great idea too. So, to answer your fifth question, I do believe Piccolo is the only one that deserves a transformation rather than the androids, because some androids do have transformations, Super 13, Cell, Android 17, but he's not really canon. So I think Piccolo deserves a transformation, because I think Piccolo actually worked his ass off, just as much as Vegeta and Goku have. So I do think that Piccolo deserves a transformation, perhaps a Super Namekian, to the point where his appearance is altered and whatnot. I think that'd be really, really cool to see an alternative version of Piccolo. But like I said, I mean, that's up to Akira Toriyama. I mean, at this point, I really doubt they're ever going to do that. But if they did, it would definitely be relevant for the show and for the character, because at least it would add some sort of a spice to the character that we haven't seen before. So, to answer your 6th question, considering the fact that you just told me that you pretty much do basketball, I wouldn't see why you would want to give up basketball for wrestling, especially, I mean, since I'm assuming you have some sort of passion for basketball, I wouldn't see why exactly you would give up basketball for wrestling. But if you were to take it serious, what advice would I give to you is don't be in it for the fame and for the fortune and all that bullshit, because you're going to get picked apart real bad by the veterans, and by the indie boys as well. You're 5'11" and 170 pounds of muscle. I mean, that's great, you know, like I'm 6'2", 195 pounds of muscle, and I really want to get that up, but it's hard as hell when you're doing it natural. But I wouldn't see why exactly you would give up basketball. I mean, my question to you is, do you have a passion for basketball, number 1? Number 2, do you believe that you can actually go far in basketball? And number 3, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? If you can answer all those questions with basketball, then basketball is for you, man. If not, then change your profession. You know, you can go into wrestling, but like I said, it's not for everybody. I mean, I've seen a lot of people come and go, and I've only been wrestling for about 2 years, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen a lot of people who couldn't hack it. I've seen a lot of people who pretty much had the determination and they couldn't manage anymore. So, if you were to take it serious, the best advice I would give to you is just keep on going, man. Like, just go until you can't go anymore, and do it for a legitimate reason, not because you want to be famous, you know. And would it hurt bad like the old wrestling days? Yes. Yes. You will get fucked up. You will get fucked up. And I've been fucked up. You know, I got fucked up, and people love to say wrestling is fake, and it's really not, to a certain extent, because when you're in there with people like the Sandman and Sabu and JBL and Brad and Farouk and Hardcore Holly, they'll fuck your shit up. They'll fucking bust your teeth in, you know. I was in the ring with Mikey Whipwreck and Amazing Red and several other guys, and you know, they actually gave me a whooping, you know what I mean? Especially if there was one person I can recall right now that legitimately gave me a beating in the ring, was Amazing Red, and he did it out of respect, and he did it just to prove a point. And you know, it was brutal. It was just brutal, but I took the punishment like a man. So would it hurt as bad as like the old days? Not to a certain extent, but the old tradition has not faded away, so you will get your shit fucked up someday by somebody, and it's not going to be pretty. You know, some guys might try to hurt you intentionally and whatnot, so it's all about being humble. To answer your 7th question, which is the most interesting question, my opinion of the Jordan era, Kobe era, and LeBron era. The Michael Jordan era, obviously the best era in basketball in my opinion. Scottie Pippen, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, so many of the greats. And that was when basketball was in its prime, I believe. That was when there weren't as many rules. You know, people played dirty. People played, you know, with passion. The Kobe era was a pretty good era in and of itself. You had so many great, you know, games. You had so many great moments that will live on forever, but it didn't captivate, you know, like the Michael Jordan era. But the Kobe era still lived up to its hiatus because you had great players, you had great seasons, you had great coaching and whatnot, you had such leniency between the NBA and its staff, you know. And the LeBron era is pretty much an era full of bitches. LeBron couldn't get a ring by himself in Cleveland, so he had to go to Miami. What a bitch. Is LeBron the best basketball player out today? No, he's fucking not. What makes LeBron stand out is he's 6'8". He's 275 pounds. Who the fuck is going to block a 6'8", 270-pound man? I mean, honestly, all these other basketball players are sticks. Yeah, they're taller than LeBron, but they're not built like LeBron. You know, if every single player in the NBA was built like LeBron James, 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", 7'7", 7'2", 280, 290 pounds, then yeah, there would be a fucking problem, because LeBron James would not be able to, he would not go over whatsoever. But my opinion of the LeBron era is there is no LeBron era. LeBron has a lot more to prove, you know, just because he has his face on a few commercials and shit doesn't make him, you know, the greatest of this generation. Hell no, I refuse to believe that. So, am I a LeBron hater? No. Do I like LeBron? No. Is LeBron James the best player of this era? No. So that's just my opinion. The best eras were the Kobe and Jordan eras. So, to answer your 8th question, I have not tried to contact them for the simple fact that I think my matches could be 10 million times better, and I'm consistently improving. And when the time is right, I will contact them, or hopefully they'll contact me, and we'll definitely work something out from there. And then, you know, you get to see me wrestle the big names, and I really hope, because that's my dream. To answer your 9th question, favorite sneakers, definitely Air Jordans, Nikes. I don't really rock anything other than those two, you know, like Nikes and Jordans, that's it, man. So I just recently got the Retro 5s, you know, I mean, even though they're kind of like, you know, but I just got those recently, so pretty proud on that. But definitely Jordan and Nikes are my favorite. And to answer your last question, the differences would be in graphics and the differences would be in texture. The amount of things you can actually do in the game would be a lot more complex in a sense, because it'll give you more freedom. So that's what I think will be the only difference in terms of the two. So I really hope it drops for the next gens. If not, I'll be really disappointed. But, you know, it is what it is. So, but thank you for the questions, RJ. Truly means a lot, man. I really, really hope you have a great holiday with you and your family, man. God bless you. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Tomo559. Hey Alex, my name is Tom, I'm 18 and I'm from the UK. I think you are a quality YouTuber and deserve way more subscribers. Thank you, my friend. And I also recommend you to all my mates. Anyways, man, on to the questions. Thank you so much, Tom. It really means a lot to me. Alright, question number 1. Do you know anything about British soccer, or as we call it, football? Yes, I do. I'll explain right now. Question number 2. Who would win in a fight if Super Buu absorbed Goku and if Vegeta fused with Gohan? Ooh, that'd be a good one, actually, now that I think about it. Question number 3. Xbox One or PS4? I think Xbox One. Question number 4. What do you think of people that are fanboys of one console over the other? Question number 5. Will you be getting Tom Clancy's The Division 6? Will Titanfall kill Call of Duty? Question 7. Have you ever watched Game of Thrones? Thanks for answering my questions. Good luck with your wrestling career. Thank you so much, Tom. Maybe one day I can actually go to the UK and you can see me wrestle one day. That'd be pretty cool. We can hang out, whatever. I always wanted to go to the UK. I'm telling you right now. It's always been one of my dreams. To answer your first question, yes, I know all about British soccer, or as you guys call it, football, which is the real football. I do know a lot of things about it, yes. Do I watch it on a consistent basis? No. I used to watch it a lot when I was a little kid, but then as I got older, I kind of lost interest in it. I mean, I really don't know what it is about it, but I do watch the World Cup series. I remember I watched the one in Spain. I'm definitely going to watch the one in Brazil. I think it's going to be awesome. But what I want to ask you, Mr. Tom, is what 2 teams do you think are going to go into the finals of the World Cup for the 2014 World Cup series? Like, do you think it's going to be perhaps, you know, Italy, Spain, perhaps, Argentina, America, you know, Brazil? I mean, what 2 teams do you think are going to advance into the finals? I want you to answer that question in the comment section below. Because for me, personally, I think it's either going to be Spain or Argentina. Those 2 teams are just brilliant. So, I do know about British soccer, as you call it, football, so that's already a given. To answer your second question, Super Buu Goku absorbed or a fusion between Gohan and Vegeta? I do think the fusion would benefit a lot, and I do believe that the fusion might win. But then again, Super Buu Goku absorbed will be far more powerful than Super Buu Gohan absorbed, considering the fact that Majin Buu now has the abilities to do the instant transmission, the Spirit Bomb. So imagine all of the possibilities that, you know, Super Buu can do with Goku absorbed. Vegeta and Gohan would be exceptionally powerful as well. If anything, I think they may be a little bit more powerful than Vegeta. I'm not entirely sure. But in any given scenario, I do believe that in the end, the fusion would win over the fusion of Super Buu and Goku, because I don't know. I think the fusion with Vegeta and Gohan, especially if they did the Potara earring fusion, would fare off a lot better. But then again, how would they act? You know what I mean? Because we know how Vegito and Gogeta act when, you know, they're pretty much fused within each other. So how would the fusion of Vegeta and Gohan turn out? Like, would they be a serious character? Would they be like a clown character? You know, that's actually a very interesting question. But I would still go with Vegeta and Gohan on that one. To answer your third question, Xbox One or PS4? I remember I answered this so many times. I would say the Xbox One as well. But dude, the PS4 is brilliant. Like, I have it and I play with my mates, I play with my friends. It's a great console. It truly is, and I am very happy that I have it, because if I didn't, I'd be missing out on a lot. And I will be starting my streams very soon on Twitch. In case you guys want to go on ahead and check that out, it's going to be on AlexAnimal7 on Twitch. I'm going to start doing some live streams on there. And when I do, I hope you guys enjoy. But between the two, I can't really say, because not all the best games are out for them right now. So I would prefer both, because they're both great consoles, you know. To answer your fourth question, what do I think of people that are fanboys of one console over the other? This is what I say to that. They're just consoles. They're gaming machines. Why are people so obsessed over being a fanboy of one console over the other? They're both the same thing, technically. They're gaming machines. They're produced to, you know, entertain the people, you know. Like, if we want to play video games, there we go. Like, I really don't see the big difference between PS4, Xbox, Microsoft, Sony, yeah, bandwagon. It's like, come on, guys. I mean, how old are we now? Like, why can't we just get our shit together and just agree to disagree that one console may be better over, you know, the other, but that doesn't mean you can just go on a rant on how the other one's horrible and, you know, you abolish all of the fans on it. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. So for the people that are, you know, extreme fanboys, you know, over the other, I think it just makes no sense, because, you know, like, it's just a console. It's not like a life and death situation, you know. I'm a fan of both. You know, I prefer the Xbox One just a little bit more over the PS4, but I still have both. I still play both. You know, does that make me a fanboy? Absolutely not, because I have both consoles. You know what I mean? So personally, for me, I just think that I just think that it's just silly. You know, some people really need to grow up when it comes to that stuff. So. To answer your fifth question, I don't know what the Division is, but I will be getting it in remembrance of Tom Clancy, even though he died. So to answer that question, most likely, I'm probably 85% sure that I am. But I'm going to have to start looking into it. I mean, I don't know what it is. This is actually the first time I ever heard of that game. So to answer your sixth question, will Titanfall kill Call of Duty? Abso-fucking-lutely. If you saw my podcast, then you know that Titanfall will smash Call of Duty. There's no way Call of Duty is pulling out of that one. Hell no. Call of Duty is going to fail miserably against Titanfall. Mark my words. And to answer your last question, I've never watched Game of Thrones, to be honest. I don't know what it's about. You know, I've seen trailers and I've seen bits and pieces of it. All I know is that there's a lot of naked people, but I've never watched Game of Thrones. So, but anyways, Mr. Tom, I really hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I hope that you know, you and your friends and your family are well safe. So thank you for the questions, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is in video format once again, and it is from Andy Keller.
Alex, Andy Keller here to bring you fan mail for week 49. Now, our first question is, how is your day today? Second question, how was Paul's day today? Third question, if Yamcha was to throw the Potara earring at you and said, fuse with me now, would you fuse with him? Question number 4, if Bobbity was to control one of your closest friends, who would you rather it control? Paul, Justin, or Vern? Question number 4. Since there will be a new Dragon Ball Z live action film, maybe, do you think it'll be better than the Dragon Ball Evolution? Or do you think it would just be worse? Because I think it'd be worse. Like, you couldn't even explain the story in there, because You couldn't explain the Super Saiyan, couldn't explain the characters, because you couldn't explain how Cell would have Frieza's cells, Vegeta's cells, everybody's cells. It makes no sense, really. Question number 6. If only there was more time in the world, what would you do in your life? Like, if you could choose anything in your life that you wanted to do besides wrestling and YouTube, what would it be? Question number 7, my final question. When you were a kid, did you ever have a dream to be a singer or a music artist? Now, that's all my questions for now, man. But God bless and take care. Hope you get in WWE. Peace, man.
Wow, look at that, man. You made it twice on one fan mail. That right there is awesome. But thank you for the questions, Andy. I hope you have a blessed day as well. How's my day going? To answer your first question, my day is going relatively fine. I mean, compared to last week, of course, where I was doing a lot of shopping left and right. So my day is actually going very, very well compared to how I was last week. Because last week I was so busy, man. I was running around, all sorts of stuff. So to answer your second question, how's Paul's day? Well, I'm pretty sure it's the same old miserable, probably sitting there watching Naruto, either jacking his meat to like some anime porn or something. I have no idea. But I mean, if Paul's watching this, Paul, how was your day? Is it bad? Yeah, we know. All right, to answer your third question, would I ever fuse with Yamcha? Dude, I wouldn't even consider Yamcha to be in the same league as me, even though he has more abilities than me and he's far more powerful and he knows the Kamehameha and the Wolfang Fist and he can fly. I still think Yamcha is a bitch. Even Chris Sabat one time said during one of his panels on Anime Expo that Yamcha is the most useless character in history. So Yamcha is just hell no. If he offered me to fuse with him, I would say hell no. There wouldn't even be a chance. Like, not even a glimmer of hope that I would fuse with that Mankey, because number one, I would probably get 10 times weaker than I already am. So especially with fusing with him. So to answer your fourth question, if Bobbity were to control one of my 3 friends out of Justin, Paul, and Vern, who would I want it to control? Well, number one, I would love to see how all of them would be controlled, because all of them would act so stupid. I mean, you know, Vern representing Rolf from Ed, Edd, and Eddy. You got Paul, the brown terrorist, and you got Justin, the Down syndrome Puerto Rican. It's just so funny to see how they would act if, you know, they were controlled and manipulated by Bobbity. But I personally would like to see all of them become Majins, but if I had to do it in order, I would do it to where it was Paul, Justin, and Vern, because I think Vern would derp himself out to the point where he wouldn't even know what he's doing. Justin would probably just implode on himself, and Paul would just go on a hiatus. So that would be very interesting to see these guys just go on ahead and just derp it out while their Majins being controlled. So to answer your fifth question, will the next Dragon Ball live action film be worse than Dragon Ball Evolution? I really hope not, because Dragon Ball Evolution was horrendous. I really don't think anything is going to get worse than that. You know, if anything, if they do release another film, I do hope that the next live action film is going to be better, but in this scenario, I really don't think so. So, will the next movie be better than Dragon Ball Evolution? I suppose it will be, because, you know, Dragon Ball Evolution was just a total flop. You know, they referred to a lot of the characters as demons and channeling your inner spirit and all that kind of shit. They didn't mention nothing about Dragon Balls or Ki, or it was just retarded. So, I hope not, but I mean, in this case scenario, let's just see what happens. That's if they drop another freaking, you know, movie. So, to answer your, I believe it's sixth question, what would I do if I had more time in the world, aside from wrestling and YouTube? I would honestly try to go into graphic design and, video animation, like, you know, stuff like that, like computer stuff, you know. I would also want to get into game design, because I feel like that's something that is truly, truly awesome. And just how awesome would it be to develop your own game, you know? Could you imagine if we were all eternal and we were all immortal? You know, like, I would literally go out of my way to, like, you know, create games and wrestle and do YouTube and probably go off and do other things, like maybe open up a store or something like that. Like, you know, like I would definitely explore my options and do something different for once, you know. But if it wasn't for those two, I'd definitely get into like computer design. graphical design, animation, all that kind of stuff. Just producing my own stuff with a team, that'd be pretty cool. And to answer your last question, have I ever thought of being a music artist? Well, when I was younger, yeah. I mean, don't we all think that we can sing and rap and do all sorts of nice stuff involving music? So when I was younger, a lot younger than I am now, actually, I did contemplate that. And, you know, I mean, as you get older, you kind of grow out of some silly stuff. So I didn't have any musical talent. I couldn't really play any instruments that well. You know, I've always wanted to play a piano and a guitar, but, you know, it is what it is. Hopefully someday. But to answer that question, I would have to say yes, but do I still want to do it? No. So, but thank you for the questions, Mr. Andy, and I hope to see you on another fan mail. So on that given note, everybody, thank you all for watching this episode of this week's Fan Mail of the Week. I am your host, UnrealEntGaming. Christmas is coming up. New Year's is coming up, guys. I have a lot planned for you, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all the latest news, information, and updates. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit it up with a like and a favor. Rate that thumbs up button. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I hope you all take care, and just you wait until New Year's, because I have something really special planned for you guys. All right, everybody, I'll be seeing you all in another episode. Peace!